Guys, Army-Firedawg is back again. How have y'all been? Today I have the review video for you of one of Hifiman's flagship IEMs, and that is their RE2000, and this is the silver version. They also have an RE2000 gold, that is $500 more, but I am reviewing their silver version. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the review and let me share my thoughts of what I've experienced over the last week or so with this IEM. And of course, I like to start with the construction of which, and then I'll work my way down from there. So the construction of the Hifiman RE2000s is truthfully rather lackluster, especially for a product costing $1,500. So from here, and also the pictures that you'll see posted in front, it's a very plasticky, it's very shiny plastic, but it is a plastic nonetheless. My biggest issue, personally, with this is the snap-on look of its, the top of its body. As you can see, it has very, very close edges that just looks like you just kind of snapped it into place, and I'd be surprised if that's not exactly how this was. Now, the horn is the most universal size, so I do believe, and I have kind of proven, that pretty much anyone's tips from about any earphones you have laying around the house will most likely fit on these, so that is a very, very good thing. As I'm sure you just saw, I am an avid user and person who swears by the Comply memory foam tips. These are what I personally used. I did not use any of the 5 different types of tips that came with the unit because this is a tour, and also I just swear by Comply. It's my personal reference. Now, the cable is also detachable, which is a very, very nice feature and one that I will always continuously advocate for. One, because a hardwired cable is just horrible in a business sense because you can't offer an upgrade cable, even from your own company. And two, if something that's happened to me personally, if you have a very excited puppy that thinks he found a new chew toy and he ruins through a cable, replacing that or sending that to a authorized distributor or repair shop is exuberantly expensive. Also, sometimes I just like to buy third-party cables and see how the sound changes. So Hifiman not requiring a hardwire cabled and two, a proprietary cabled, I definitely give large kudos for that. And it's just a standard 2-pin connector. Now, as for the cable itself, from appearances, it just seems like a regular, tubed cable. Nothing screams as too fancy for me. I do like the appearance of a braided cable, but I do not know how the innards of this looks. Now, one thing I have noticed with this cable is it doesn't hardly tangle whatsoever. As in, you could twirl it around, and then it'll just come right undone. I very much enjoy that feature. Mainly because its carrying case, which I'll go ahead and tie into its construction as well, is another one of my downfalls. I really didn't like its carrying case that it came with, simply because you can't hardly use it. So by default it comes with, and if you remember from the unboxing, that little foam inserts where you can put the actual monitors themselves. You have to actually remove that foam tip for it to be wrapped in very, very tightly. You have to very tightly wrap these in order for it to be able to close together, as you can see in the picture right here. I was not a fan of that. Again, for $1,500, I was really hoping I would get a fairly decent carrying case or something that would show that, hey, I have a very top-end luxury flagship product. And a tin case that barely fits the product, I just wanted more. It's just an expectation that I had, but that's here nor there. Now, moving on to the comfort. The comfort, like the construction, I think could have been better. It's not bad. It's just, I never forgot it was in my ear. I always knew I had the products in my ear. They are very, very bulky. And they're not too smoothly edged, especially, like I said, right where this connects right here. That does kind of hit right there, the back of your concha, excuse me. Now, with that, as you can see, I have rather large ears. If you have especially if you have small ears like my wife, she physically couldn't even put these in her ear to listen to. They were just way too big. So she couldn't even take enjoyment out of these IEMs. So if you're someone with smaller ears, you may want to at least try. I always recommend trying a product before you buy it, but I strongly encourage that with this, just to make sure you can even get it in your ear to listen to it. Now, once you have it in your ear, the cables here are very loose, and where the wire is fairly thick, it does like to whip around back to the front, so it'll generally hang like this here. A solution Hifiman includes, and this is a very nice positive point, I actually love them, I used them pretty much entirely once I put them on, is these little tubular attachments, and it very easily goes right here. And then there you go. That keeps it very nicely attached, and it stays behind your ear. And also, these are actually very comfortable. Like, my comfort went up with these little rubber tips on. Or adapters, not tips, excuse me. So that is an inclusion that Hifiman allows with their RE2000 silvers that I personally appreciate. I really do like those, and if you get a pair or try a pair yourselves, I recommend using them with those little tips. That does help the comfort. Now, moving on to what y'all probably care the most about, and that is how do these $1,500 flagship IEMs from Hifiman sound? And I will definitely say that Hifiman put all of their eggs in the sound basket, because these really do sound very, very nice. They are representative of what a $1,500 product sounds like. I got, truthfully, exactly what I expected. Nothing more, but definitely nothing less. These are what I would expect a $1,500 or $1,000 plus IEM to sound like. The soundstage is nicely vast. It's not super far out, but it's a wider soundstage than really what I expected, truth be told, especially from a single dynamic driver IEM. One of the biggest factors I had that just still impresses me with these is the separation and the airiness of it. Like, everything sounded just, I could identify, and I'll use Pentatonics, I think was the exact artist I tagged in my review. But you could easily discern each individual artist even when they're all singing together. And that was very impressive. That is something that a lot of IEMs, regardless of their price, sometimes struggle to do, is have very good separation. Additionally, these have very, very impressive positional abilities. So if you're listening to a larger symphony, again, I believe I used He's a Pirate by, I can't remember who the artist is. It's tagged in my written review. But like, you can tell where, by closing your eyes, not watching the video or listening, but you can just close your eyes and you know where the drums are, where the cellos or whatever instrument is being used. You know where they are and how close they are to you and how far away. With a really well recorded live recording, you're about there at the performance. So in other words, Yanni is really cool to listen to. The Yanni's live performance, very impressive. Very, very impressive. Now, moving on to the individual aspects, so I can kind of describe the sound a little bit overall better. The treble, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, is very airy. It had so much room to just breathe, like trumpets or flutes, violins. They could just have great extension. There was a notable roll off, so it just kind of went, peaked, and then dropped down. And it was never piercing, but it did reach the highest notes, and it was very clean. Like, it never strained to get those really high peaks. Whether that's Diva Dance, or what was that other song I used? I think it was Glassy Sky by Donna Burke. Is that her name? I think it's Donna Burke. But beautiful, beautiful treble pieces for both instrumentals and the female vocals. And I'll touch on that here in a very second. But the treble, I really can't think of anything negative to say. It was just so airy. They had great extension. The energy transfer was there. It's just wonderful, wonderful treble. With actually overall tonality of these. I mentioned that a second ago, but these are overall cold sounding, not bright, but a more colder leaning side of neutral IEMs. Now, going down to the mids, which, like I said, is the vocals. The vocals or the mid-range, which is what I personally care the most about in these, or in earphones in general, is, like I said, they're neutral-ish, but they're notably recessed. Like, regardless of what you're listening to, and I forgot what songs I tagged in my written review, but several of them, like, when you're listening to it, you're just like, you can hear the vocals, and they all sound there, and you have the body, like, it's there. Like, you've got the fleshy sound. If you can hear that in my microphone, I hope you can. It's a good mic. Here it is. But the $1,500 RE2000s do a great job of replicating this fleshy sound, even though it's recessed. And now when you listen to it, and you'll immediately know what I'm talking about, is in all the instruments kind of sound way up here while the vocals are far back. Especially male vocals. Female vocals actually sound very, very good. Again, reference the previous aforementioned Glassy Sky, and I believe it's Donna Burke. I almost swear it's her name. But beautiful, beautiful vocals. About any female vocals you want to listen to are just stunning with the RE2000s. Now, male vocals, on the other hand, they're still good. They're still very detailed, and they sound very lifelike, other than the recession part. But they lose that, I don't know, some of that raspiness, like Trace Atkins, Nathaniel Rateliff, and I think I listed one more that has a more of a raspiness tone. It's still there, and you can hear it, but it just doesn't, it doesn't sound like you're a normal male vocal artist would if you're listening to it on a neutral or even a warm, maybe even so much of a dark earphone or product in general. It just doesn't, they sound clean, but it just doesn't accent how good some male vocals can sound. Moving on to the bass. And the bass, I wouldn't call these a bass-heavy IEM, but I really don't think that any bass lover is going to be wanting any more from the RE2000s. They go very, very low. I mean, not quite to the sub-bass, but it's pretty daggum close. If you're listening to the song Oracle, by Timmy Trumpet, Flight of the Cosmic Hippo, if that's the right name. I forgot who sings that one, but very impressive bass. Gets very, very low, but it is controlled. And again, this is all while you're listening to very high dynamic pieces. But the RE2000s, its control of the bass, its speed, its attack, its very minimal decay. It hits and then just stops. And then you immediately, while all that's going on, you still have all the treble and the vocals going on. That is very impressive, and that is and that shows the competency of Hifiman in the sound area and what they can do for a product's sound. I definitely wasn't wanting more because I'm not a bass head at all. But even for those who really enjoy bass, I think you will find solace in the RE2000s if that's somewhere along the lines of everything else I was talking about, if that's what you're wanting. Heavy bass, very accented treble, a notable V-shaped sound. That's actually a fantastic way I can explain the Hifiman RE2000 Silvers, is they have a notable V-shaped sound with a little bit more emphasis on the treble side. But guys, that is actually it for my review of Hifiman's flagship product. And well, this is one of their two flagship products, both being the RE2000, this one being the silver version. This goes for, like I said, $1,500. And though it has some shortcomings, for a product being $1,500, its sound quality is very much so there. And you can tell as soon as you put these in your ears and you hit play on whatever music, movie, show, whatever you're wanting to hit play to, you immediately understand, I have a flagship sounding product. I do wish the frame was more of like aluminum or something just a little bit more premium. And I do believe, I do wish the carrying case would have been more reflective of a $1,500 product. But like I said, for a product that focuses so heavily on the sound, they did get that part right. So this is definitely in line with a flagship $1,000 plus IEM. But my friends, if you have any questions or if there's anything I may have missed that you would like me to touch on or clarify more, please hit me in the comments down below. I will absolutely read and reply to every single one of you. And I do enjoy hearing and talking from you. I don't care if it's from videos I've made 4 years ago or the one I just posted right now. I do enjoy hearing from you. I like hearing what types of sound you're looking for. I truly enjoy. That's why I got into YouTube, is so I can help what little information and knowledge I have. I can somewhat help you find the sounding product that you're looking for, the type of sound you like. And when you do find that, I want to hear, I love hearing, yes, I finally found the earphone I like or the headphone I like. Regardless if it's something I recommended or not, I do love hearing from you, hearing what people like to hear and when they finally get that aha moment. So hit me up in the comments and let me know what you guys like. But as for now, that's it. And as always, my name is Army-Firedawg. It has truly been a pleasure, my fans. But most importantly, and please I ask of you, stay safe.